In the Clark County School District, we recognize that our students come from diverse backgrounds and have even more diverse hopes and dreams for their futures. With this diversity comes many paths towards becoming informed citizens, adept learners, skilled workers, and influential leaders. Central to these individual journeys are the foundational skills of literacy, which we understand to be essential for their success. Data from the National Assessment of Educational Progress paints a grim picture. In 2022, only 32% of fourth grade students in Georgia demonstrated proficiency in reading. This statistic underscores the urgency of our mission. Research has shown that students' proficiency in reading at this crucial stage can significantly impact their likelihood of graduating from high school, which is crucial to success in the 21st century. Until now, the promise of literacy for all has not been realized, particularly for many of our youngest and most vulnerable citizens. However, there is hope. Ryan Lee James, CEO of the Atlanta Speech School, has said that explicit instruction in reading is essential for the majority of our children. Regardless of their backgrounds or learning challenges, this approach assures that no child is left to navigate the road to becoming a reader on their own, but rather receives targeted and intentional support. In doing so, we're not just nurturing readers, we're shaping future graduates who will positively contribute to our society and the world at large.
As a school district committed to the academic success of our students, we recognize the vital role that literacy plays in their educational journey. We are pleased to share with our stakeholders important developments in literacy policy and practice in Georgia. Our nation has embarked on a mission to elevate literacy outcomes for all students, and our state took bold steps to demonstrate an allegiance to this effort starting in 2019. Our commitment is reflected in several key initiatives that are shaping literacy education in Georgia. Notable among these are the Georgia Early Literacy Act, House Bill 538, which sets forth guidelines to enhance literacy instruction in kindergarten through third grade, and the forthcoming implementation of new K-12 English Language Arts standards scheduled for full implementation in the 2025-26 school year. Additionally, Georgia's efforts to address dyslexia through Senate Bill 48 underscore the state's dedication to supporting students impacted most notably in the absence of the mandate for structured literacy. These measures represent significant milestones in Georgia's literacy landscape and provide the framework to guide our district's focus on professional learning in the coming years. As a district, we are committed to staying abreast of these developments and integrating them in our instructional practices to ensure that every student receives the support they need to become proficient readers and lifelong learners. Through collaboration with educators, families, and community partners, we strive to create an environment where all students have access to high-quality instructional materials and exceptional literacy instruction, ensuring the best opportunity for them to reach their full potential. Together, we can continue to drive progress and foster a culture of literacy excellence in our district and beyond.
Starting in the 2024-2025 academic year, all school systems are required by state law to certify that they are implementing instructional programs and adhering to practices and procedures outlined in the Georgia Early Literacy Act and Dyslexia Rule. Thankfully, Clark County took proactive steps to address these requirements as early as January 2023, not solely due to obligation, but because it aligns with our commitment to meeting the diverse needs of all students. We are confident that the programs we've already implemented over the past year align with the forthcoming state law's mandate for high-quality instructional materials. The materials are defined as those that are grounded in the science of reading and demonstrate a scope and sequence that integrates all of the critical foundational literacy skills with the grade-appropriate English, language arts, and reading standards as approved by the State Board of Education. At the core of our instructional approach is ensuring Tier 1 instruction is accessible to all students, with any additional support or services provided in addition to students' Tier 1 instruction. Leaders driving our initiative in Georgia recognize the challenges associated with developing comprehensive reading programs. Therefore, to ensure access to explicit instruction in all of the foundational literacy skills as aligned with our state standards, we provided professional learning, demonstration lessons, and prompt feedback for multiple K-3 literacy programs. These include Wit and Wisdom, Foundations, Hegarty, Geodes, and several Walk-To intervention supports. Our bundled approach, allowed by the Georgia Early Literacy Act, ensures a seamless connection between our selected programs specially designed to meet the unique needs of our diverse group of elementary students.
Effective literacy instruction, as outlined by the Science of Reading, emphasizes several components. Prior to being able to read, children must develop a strong language foundation for literacy, including phonological and phonemic awareness. To explicitly teach these skills, CCSD utilizes the Hegarty Phonemic Awareness Curriculum for kindergarten and first grade students. This instruction provides students with a powerful foundation in phonological and phoneme awareness prior to any formal phonics instruction. The goal is for children to demonstrate early mastery in these foundational literacy skills, such as understanding print, the alphabet, and phonics. To address the phonics instruction component of the Science of Reading, CCSD adopted Foundations for kindergarten through third grade. The Foundations program provides explicit, systematic, cumulative, and diagnostic instruction in phonics. The multisensory strategies in Foundations include sound-symbol association, spelling, syllable instruction, and handwriting. The program was designed with an intervention component that supports those students who demonstrate early characteristics of dyslexia. Foundations was adopted in CCSD in 2022 and has had positive impacts on student learning. Practice in applying foundational literacy skills is critical. To maximize opportunities for our students' practical application of skills learned, CCSD adopted Geodes, a series of readers that align directly with our instructional scope and sequence. These readers support our emerging and developing readers, enhancing their comprehension and fluency, while also serving as a rich source of informational text shown to stretch even our most advanced readers.
Wit and Wisdom rounds out our instructional bundle. It was important to offer a seamless connection between the programs chosen, and the rich alignment between Wit and Wisdom, Foundations, and Geodes is by design. The primary goal of learning to read is comprehension, so critical components in the development of reading comprehension are addressed in our comprehensive bundle by the end of grade 3. And thinking beyond our students learning to read as they read to learn, in grades 4th and 5th, the Wit and Wisdom ELA core program stays in place. The seamless transition to upper elementary school enables us to continue to lift all levels of learners with exposure to rich grade level texts that address the intersection of reading, writing, and oral language in an explicit, systematic, and cumulative manner to allow for differentiation for all students while maintaining full access to Tier 1 instruction. The approval for use of our Clark County Tier 1 instructional bundle, carefully curated and implemented, will be submitted annually to the Georgia Department of Education to maintain compliance with all the requirements of the Georgia Early Literacy Act, the Georgia EIP rule, and the Georgia Dyslexia rule.
Current MTSS practices in CCSD already include the use of universal screeners to inform instruction for all students. CCSD will continue to administer iReady as our universal screener 3 times a year. The new legislation, however, requires at a minimum that we annually conduct a screening of all students in kindergarten through grade 3 for characteristics of dyslexia. This screening must be conducted no later than January 2025, utilizing a qualified dyslexia screening tool identified by our state. Over the past year, CCSD has provided training for school leaders and teachers on the administration of our new approved screener. As a parent or guardian, you will receive all universal screening results in writing. If it is determined that your child is not making progress as anticipated, we will seek your permission in writing to administer a more diagnostic reading screener. Parents will receive written letters that describe the evidence-based reading intervention services their child will receive to remedy any identified reading deficits. An individual reading intervention plan will be created to ensure each child's progress in targeted grade level foundational literacy skills. Each child's reading intervention plan will be implemented within 30 days after being identified. If a child exhibits characteristics of dyslexia or other disorders, parents will be provided information including links to resources and materials that can be used to support their child at home. Students who demonstrate significant reading deficiencies or demonstrate characteristics of dyslexia will continue to receive grade-level instruction in their Tier 1 block, although targeted intervention and progress monitoring based on an individual plan will be woven into their school day as well.
CCSD is confident with the literacy bundle chosen, and while ensuring all students receive Tier 1 instruction, we want to be sure we respond to students needing intervention as soon as we are aware of the specific need. At the core of our instructional approach is ensuring Tier 1 instruction is accessible to all students, with any intervention-related support or services provided in addition to students' Tier 1 instruction. The interventions selected are aligned with our bundled approach and include additional support related to Wit and Wisdom, Foundations, Heggerty, and Geodes. Our bundled approach, allowed by the Georgia Early Literacy Act, coupled with our response to students needing additional support, ensures a seamless connection between our selected programs and our approach to intervention.
If a student is not responding to Heggerty in Tier 1 related to phonemic awareness, those students in K2 would increase their time and use with Heggerty, and those students in grades 3-5 would have exposure to Heggerty's Bridging the Gap for Tier 2 and Tier 3 increased intensity. This instruction provides for increased time and support around a powerful foundation in phonological and phonemic awareness. If a student is not responding to the Foundations program in Tier 1, which provides explicit, systematic, cumulative, and diagnostic instruction in phonics, students would participate in Foundations interventions in grades K3 with an option for exposure to Fun and Focus for Tier 3. Students in grades 3-5 have the option to participate with Just Words for increased exposure and instruction related to phonics in a Tier 2 setting, with Wapple and McKenna as a Tier 3 option before moving into a Wilson setting.
As students maximized opportunities for the practical application of skills learned, CCSD adopted Geodes, a series of readers that are 80% decodable and align directly with our instructional scope and sequence. Students who are not successful in Tier 1 will receive oral reading fluency exposure in Tier 2 and will be exposed to iReady, MyPath in Tier 2 or 3 with increased frequency and intensity. Lastly, Wit and Wisdom rounds out our instructional bundle. It was important to offer a seamless connection between the programs chosen, and the rich alignment between Wit and Wisdom, Foundations, and Geodes is by design. If a student is struggling with Wit and Wisdom in the Tier 1 setting, students would receive support and exposure to iReady, MyPath if 2 years or more behind their grade level in reading. We believe our intentional selections around interventions in each tier will meet students with rigor and grade level appropriate content in Tier 1 with scaffolding in place at Tier 2 and 3 to support each student's literacy journey.
The Georgia Early Literacy Act requires that all K through 3rd grade teachers are provided training in the science of reading and structured literacy. And the Georgia Board of Education is providing a free option to meet this training requirement in a series of 10 modules referred to as the Georgia Literacy Academy. These modules were developed in joint partnership with the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy and Cox Campus and are housed in the Georgia Learns PD Hub. Ramona Brown, a Science of Reading professional development coach at the Rollins Center for Language and Literacy at the Atlanta Speech School, reminds us that literacy is the social justice issue of our time, and the science of reading is our best tool to accomplish that, because in her words, it is helpful for all students and harmful to none. Our goal is to support all K-5 teachers, coaches, and administrators' progress through the 10 Georgia Literacy Academy modules by providing time for completion of the modules and opportunities for educators to collaborate and connect what they learn in the modules with how this information is applied within our specific instructional materials and the new Georgia K-12 ELA standards. Therefore, as CCSD elementary educators individually complete the 10 Georgia Literacy Academy modules, they will also participate in 6 grade band Learning Wednesday professional learning sessions by quadrant. Related central office staff will also take part in this journey alongside our elementary educators because we know our students deserve a team that understands how to accelerate literacy outcomes for all learners.
Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the steps we're taking to improve the literacy in Clark County School District. Our mission is to create educational journeys that empower all students to fulfill their potential. We are confident that the steps outlined in this video will help us fulfill our mission. We are making great strides, and with your support, I know that will continue to be the case as we remind each other daily we are better together.